About to beat my meat. Boo-lip-boo-boo. About to beat my meat. Boo-lip-boo-boo. Well then, welcome back everybody. I am Trooper 6. This is Let's Paint on your friendly neighborhood channel of Pungo Paints. And what are we starting off with? Edge highlighting / dry brushing. I had to restart this real quick. I had a technical difficulty. So I had already just done the dry brushing for the leather. So if you wanted to see that, well, too bad. And then I had a meme stuck in my head. The whole about to beat my meat. I don't know why that was stuck in my head, but it was. So I had to get it out. About to beat my meat. About to beat my meat. Shit was hilarious. It was hilarious. You know what else is hilarious? The fact that nobody understands my joke when I say that it was hilarious. Just the fact that I'm saying it. They're like, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it either. Also can't explain it. Trying to do whatever we can do. So it should be potentially the last episode here for the Ghosts of Baal. And once again, if you are unaware of who the Ghosts of Baal are, they are a homebrew chapter of mine. I think they're going to have to be more or less all Primaris for the time being. I want to say there might be some firstborns, and if so, they'll make up the veterans. But they are a conglomerate. They're a collection of anyone who is of sanguinary descent. The reason they get together is because chapters have gone completely extinct thanks to High Fleet Leviathan. So the remnants, the survivors of any of those chapters have now banded together to ensure their legacy does not go completely forgotten forever and ever and ever by creating a brand new chapter. So here we are with that brand new chapter. And they wanted to pay homage to the Knights of Blood. So they have a similar color scheme, only we've added the red legs because I wanted something just to stand out a little bit more and not look too derivative of the blood scythes, who have a very pale scheme as it is. So we're doing what we can with what we have, and we're doing all right. I said we're doing all right. Yeah. Doing all right. Are you doing all right? You better be doing all right, man. I'm tired of hearing about people that aren't doing all right. Getting real tired of it. Not that I'm tired of hearing from you or anything like that. I just hate that no one seems to be acknowledging the fact that they're doing better than they think they are. And that's not to downplay whatever hardships you might be going through. It really isn't to downplay any of that. I understand life is what it is. But I mean, hell, man, things could always be worse. As long as you're alive, you have a stepping point. in which to do a little better, or which to try again, or something, whatever you say or want. I know that sounded just so inspiring. But hell, man, even I'm tired. I let the emotions get to me. I let the negative thoughts get to me. I will sometimes convince myself that things are worse than they actually are, even though they are not. When I think some things are important, I have to remember what is important, and that's my family. Like, if all this painting that I'm doing goes nowhere, everybody wants to be successful in their own way, right? Even if all this goes nowhere, I have my family, and that's really what's important. And I struggle with that, I really do. All my life, I wanted to go down in history as, I don't know, something great. I wanted to be remembered for something amazing. Something, I didn't want to disappear into history as nothing, being forgotten forever. As selfish as that might sound, or whatever you might consider it to be, I don't know. I kind of don't care. I just know that I did not want to be more or less a peasant all my life. At the same time, what have I really done to aspire to be more than a peasant? Not too much. I work peasant jobs for peasant pay. And I lose myself along the way. Like anybody out there. We're all just trying, right? We're all just trying. Come together right now. The fuck out of my way. Right? That seems to be the American motto right there. Come together right now. Get the fuck out of my way. Because it doesn't really seem like people want to work together. I hope I'm wrong. I hope people really do want to work together. But it does seem like when it comes down to it, people just say, get the hell out of my way. Like, they only want people to come together if it benefits them. And that's what saddens me. That is what saddens me. Is when shit like that happens. Come together right now over me. Just trying to get those cuts to be more prominent. Did a little too much right there, but it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Trying to do what we can. Trying to do what we can. Every now and then I find it funny when people on Reddit are, I saw someone, I don't want to say they were complaining because, it's written. It's kind of hard to tell if people are complaining or not. Really depends on I guess what verbiage they use and things like that. You really got to read into it, but it seemed like somebody was complaining that the only people watching their videos were their family. And I know Reddit already jumped on the response to all of that. Like, dude, are you kidding me? But I think I've talked about it before. But that stuff even gets to me. I'm like, dude, at least your family is watching. I know my family does not watch, and that's okay. That is actually okay. Do I wish I had some support? Sure. What I don't want is the unsolicited advice. Like, hey, here's how you can make that better. Like, thank you. I'm gonna go asking when I need that advice. Not that I'm not listening. Don't ever mistaken that, people. It's not like the unsolicited advice goes in one ear and out the other. I do listen to all of it. My family has said that I don't, or that I never did listen to any of that stuff, and then when they catch me quoting them, they're like, "Oh my god, it sank in." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you guys are always shocked that I was ever listening. You should not be shocked that I was ever listening to you. You should be shocked at the set in life, but you won't be, and that's neither here nor there right now, because it just ain't important." But life be what it be. But the fact that people were like, man, the only people who seem to be watching my stuff are friends or family. Again, that's awesome. I'm glad you actually have that kind of support, because people have asked, like, hey, why have you started what you did? I'm like, honestly, my friends suggested that I start a YouTube channel. They were like, your painting is good enough, man. Painting's really good, so why don't you start a YouTube channel and do some tutorials and stuff? And I said, honestly, I don't want to do tutorials, and I know I've talked about this before, because everybody does tutorials. There are a fucking million of them out there, but no one's doing what I'm doing right now, and I'd much rather do something like that. So here I am doing that. But are any of them watching my stuff? If they are, they're not telling me, which is fine. They don't have to. That's where some things I think probably get muddled a little bit, is people thinking, well, if you are watching, then why don't you just tell me? Well, who the hell cares? Just let them do their thing. It's a touchy subject. It can be a touchy subject. I don't like when people, they're like wishing you luck and stuff, like, oh man, that would be cool if you got big, or if you got more popular than you. Well, it would be cool. You know what helps? When you help. Spread around the word. Share a video. Just have it on in the background, or mute it. You don't have to actually watch anything. There are free ways to support people, There really are simple, easy ways to support any of your friends. And it's very weird that I see people like, man, I hope you do well, but you're also not supporting them. So how much are you really hoping? Are you just saying it to be polite? do you honestly mean that, but you have no interest in doing and supporting them? Because it's all really fine. Everybody is free to do their own thing. No one owes anybody really anything. It's just sometimes I don't understand, and that's why I find that it's a touchy subject. Is you just don't. I don't know. I never want to be quote unquote bitching about it when it just doesn't matter. Adjust this camera just a little bit. All right. But yeah, I find it difficult and funny to be quote unquote bitching about any of it, because we really don't have anything to be bitching about. At this moment, I believe my channel has grown to 187 subscribers, something like that, which ain't bad at all. That is awesome. I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of people on Reddit that were like, "Damn, I wish I had that." Something like that. There's always going to be that person out there that wishes they had that. They wish they had what you had, or what you already have. And there's always that. I'm sure there'd be plenty of people saying, "Be careful what you wish for," and other things. So what are we going to do? We're going to go this way? No. We're going to go this way. That's how we're going to do it. But, the whole support thing has always been very strange to me. So I don't know what to tell people. Like, I had a friend who was like, "Man, has your channel grown yet?" Well, yeah, it's growing steadily. Like, "Oh man, you deserve all the people. You deserve all the people." Okay. Have you subscribed? Well, no. You know me, I don't do YouTube. Okay. As understandable as I guess that is. It also seems kind of back-asswards to me. I do appreciate that you're wishing me well, but you're also not going out of your way to support me. So what the hell are we talking about here? And you should never expect any of that kind of stuff. Like, don't expect your friends to be the ones to support you. Don't expect any of that shit. Because one, it just puts unrealistic expectations in your head. And people have their own lives, and they can do whatever they want, and they're not always going to be there to support you. They're just wishing you on from home and not from the sideline. And then, of course, you always have to be careful of the people who are wishing you well, but they're just doing that to be polite. And it's hard to tell who those people are half the time. And I guess you could just sum all that up as some kind of anxiety. And like, damn, you have some trust issues, or something to that effect. Just be like, hey, you have a friend who just wished you the best and all this other stuff. Like, you really can't just accept that? I don't know. I have a hard time with things. No one says you have to sit here and support anybody. And I am very thankful of the people that do sit here and support me. What we're going to get ready for now, and that could use just a splash more water. What we're going to do now is get ready for the transfers. All right. Because we're at about 20 minutes. And here you go. I know you've already seen me putting it together. I got a little sidetracked with going on about friendship and support and everything. But if you have family that supports you, that's fantastic, dude. I would hate for people to be bummed that that's their support. Okay, because the audience will come eventually. And that's coming from someone who, as far as YouTube standards, doesn't really have an audience. YouTube standards now. Who's to really say what YouTube standards are or are not? It's hard to say because, you get all kinds of stuff out there. Everybody's soliciting their own advice, their own experiences, and everything's going to be different. And it's all hunky-dory. It's all allowed to be different. I've gotten more support from my buddy Omar in Malaysia than I have my own people that I've known for over a decade. That's just the way it goes, I guess. And I don't know. People have a hard time with that, and I definitely can agree and attest to how difficult that is sometimes. I've wanted to get bitter with my friends about that. Did I think it was a little ass backwards for them to be like, dude, you should totally get a YouTube channel and do your thing? And when I do get a YouTube channel, they're nowhere to be found. No word, no question, nothing from them. I get no feedback. Now, that also could be possibly the fact that I'm not doing exactly what they said I should do, which is also fine. You can't expect someone to do exactly what you had in mind. If someone you wanted them to do this, well, they thought that was cool, but they did this instead. You can't exactly fault someone for that. And this is about to be more or less, quote unquote, wasteful for me to do right here, but it's okay. We're going to do it anyway. So the transfer that I'm going to do is a number 4, and it's going to go right here, which you're not really going to be able to see. Yeah, you're not really going to be able to see it, even on the turntable. If you are able to see it on the turntable, that'd be cool. But not really going to be able to see that, and it doesn't really matter. It's there for me. It's there even now for you, because all of you can see that I am doing this. But yeah, I've received more support, at least that I can see, from a coworker. And that person knows I couldn't give 2 shits when it comes to being friends or anything like that. I have a kind of a strict rule when it comes to work. I've totally made friends at work, like actual friends. Still talk to them to this day, hang out with them when we can, when things aren't crazy or busy or anything like that. Life is life, and the older you get, the more you it is ridiculous that you have to schedule hangouts. You actually have to set a time and date for that. Like, oh, let me put you on the calendar. I find that to be ridiculous, only because it wasn't that long ago that we were just like, hey man, you want to hang out today? Yeah, all right, let's do that. But we got to wait for those things to dry. So we're also going to get out our little felt pen, our black one here, the Faber-Castell. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, bite me. And there's 2 more things we got to do with this pauldron. So we got to do Baal is what we're going to write here. And then we got to do our little homebrew chapter insignia. But first things first. Baal never comes out well for me. That's okay. We also did it very quickly. So, what we're going to do for this is we're busting out that trusty Corax White. We've had this sitting out here for quite a while. You've seen it on the previous episodes. All right. And this is our half brush, or our 2.0, or whatever you want. It's smaller than the 0. And we are going to do a blood droplet, a white blood droplet. And it's going to be some crossed swords behind it. The reason for that is, again, to pay more homage or homage, whatever the word is. We're paying more tribute to the Knights of Blood, as they would have a knight shield with some crossed swords behind it, with a blood droplet on top. And basically what we're doing is taking the blood droplet and the cross shields, or cross swords. We're dropping the shield, and we're changing the color of the blood droplet, obviously, from red to white. Because it would be a white shield, red blood droplet, black swords. And we are doing white blood droplet, black swords. No shield. Obviously. As I have just stated. And that is going to be our insignia for the Ghosts of Baal. I wanted it to look like they stood at the ready. They didn't necessarily see themselves as angels. They saw themselves more like knights. And they stand ever vigilant. And this blood droplet is just... it's not wanting to work with me here. God. Good Lord, man. Part of it is the brush. You son of a bitch. And I'm really trying not to have that blood droplet be all grainy, because the Corax white usually is it's so nice. Because I've gotten it to be nice and flat. But it looks like we're going to have some texture to this one. I'm trying to pick it up. Alright, whatever. We're just going to have to leave it at that. It's a little sloppy. But that's okay. So we're hoping the next one will be just fine, because we're going to need our black for this. So we're going to get their black Templar. And then all we got to do after that is shade the damn thing. And we'll be done. Which I will probably do the shading off camera. Just because we are basically at... we're about 28 and a half minutes, 29, almost 30. Something like that. And I'm not trying to have this go on forever. All right. This is getting tricky. My hands are starting to really shake here. We're just making it real simple here. And there you go. There you go. Something real simple. Damn. That did not line up very well at all. Good Lord. You see that? You see that? That's atrocious. And there's not much we can do except for trying to thicken up that blade. And we can do the same to the other one, but we'll have to thicken it up on this side. Try to make that look a little bit more even. But that also means that we really do need to thicken up the blade down here. Or up here, I should say. Sorry if all of this is looking off camera. I'm trying to make sure that I do a decent enough job here, and it's just not working out, and it's getting more and more frustrating with each brush stroke, especially with my hands not cooperating and getting all shaky. And you can see that that hilt got so fudged that it is aggravating as hell. And that's where you just break out some of the red contrast paint and you try to cover it up as best you can. And that's okay. We got this, right? Do we? Do we have this? Confidence is key, but caution is essential. But if you second guess yourself, how confident can you be? And I guess that's just all we're really going to get out of this right now. And that's just how it's going to have to be, I think. We did what we could with it, but I think if we mess with it anymore, it's just going to mess it up. It's hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice, because I've done this once before. And for the comparison, here you go. There they are, both Knights of Baal. Let me get his symbol and his symbol. Oh, man. With the glare, you can't really get it, can you? It doesn't matter. Yeah, I first did it on a jump pack marine, just because I could. But, I guess that's it. I guess that's it, folks. So I will bid y'all adieu. I will do the shading on this off camera, let it dry, and you're going to see it on the turntable in just a minute. And I want to thank everybody for coming by once more. Welcome to any and all newcomers. Welcome back to the repeat viewers. And if you have any suggestions or ideas or even challenges, go ahead and comment. Like, subscribe, do what you need to. And I will see you guys on the next one. We'll see what we come up with, all right? May the Void Father guide your brush.